Have you ever wondered what happens when you mix silicone with cement? At first glance, this combination may seem meaningless, perhaps even strange or incompatible. But the truth is, it holds surprising potential. In this video, you'll learn a simple yet effective formula that many people often overlook, and it can be extremely useful in a variety of everyday situations, especially when you need quick, strong, and durable home repairs. Let's start with the main ingredient, silicone. Grab a tube of silicone sealant. Any neutral cure type will do. This is going to be one of the key ingredients in today's DIY mix. If possible, use a manual silicone caulking gun. Next, start dispensing the silicone into a container. Here, I'm using a regular cup, but I highly recommend using a metal container like an aluminum or brass pot. Grab a bottle, preferably an empty plastic, because we'll need it for measuring or mixing in the next step. Make sure it's clean and dry. Drill a hole in the bottle cap. Drill a medium-sized hole, just big enough to fit a plastic tube snugly. You don't want it too loose. The tube should sit firmly in place without leaking. I've got the plastic tube ready right here. Now slide the plastic tube through the hole in the cap. Make sure it fits snugly. You want a tight seal so nothing leaks out when we start using it. Push it in until it sits firmly and doesn't wobble. Screw the cap back onto the bottle, making sure the tube stays securely in place. Now it's time to go get the gasoline. This will act as a solvent in our mixture, so handle it carefully and use it in a well-ventilated area. It's time to collect a bit of gasoline. I'll gently insert the tube into a fuel tank, then give the bottle a light squeeze to push the air out. When I release it, the gasoline will start flowing into the bottle through the tube using simple suction. Just make sure to do this outdoors or in a well-ventilated area, and keep everything away from heat or flames. Safety first. Pour a small amount of gasoline into the cup, just enough for the mixture we're about to make. Next, I need to make a simple tool to stir the mixture evenly. The key is to ensure the mixture is well blended, without any lumps, so it sets evenly and forms a strong final product. Prepare a wooden stick and 3 zip ties. These simple materials will be used to create a handy DIY stirring tool. The wooden stick will serve as the main handle, while the zip ties can be attached at one end to act like flexible mixing paddles. The rotation will help blend the silicone and gasoline thoroughly into a smooth, even consistency. Just be sure to keep a firm grip and mix slowly at first to avoid splashing. Use regular cement, the kind used in construction, renovations, and minor structural repairs. Gradually add a few heaping spoonfuls directly to the silicone and solvent mixture, being careful not to overmix. Using a spatula or spoon, stir slowly and steadily to thoroughly incorporate the powder into the liquid base. Gradually, the mixture will gain body, density, firmness, and a more uniform and moldable consistency. Continue adding cement gradually, patiently, and carefully until the mixture reaches a creamy, thick, homogeneous, and slightly sticky texture, similar to a strong, high-strength glue that adheres firmly to a variety of surfaces. This is the ideal point for application, ensuring a strong, durable result with a visually smooth and even finish once it's fully dried. Now that everything's ready, it's time to roll up our sleeves and get to work. Let's put the mix to the test and see what it can really do. This mixture is ideal for brushing over lightly cracked concrete surfaces or small DIY repair projects. When applied in a thin, even layer, it seeps into the cracks and creates a strong seal, helping prevent further damage. It's perfect for restoring old concrete steps, patching chipped corners, or reinforcing worn-out surfaces, giving them a refreshed look and added durability without the need for heavy tools or complicated methods. In the meantime, let me show you another interesting use of silicone and gasoline, this time without any cement involved. When combined, these two materials can create a flexible, rubbery compound that's surprisingly useful for waterproofing, sealing gaps, or even molding custom shapes in DIY projects. It's a simple yet clever way to repurpose everyday items for practical home repairs or creative builds. After mixing the silicone with gasoline, I'm going to test its waterproofing ability. Once the mixture is turned into a smooth, spreadable gel, I'll apply it to the surface with small gaps or cracks. After it dries, we'll check how well it seals against water. This test will show whether the homemade compound can act as an effective, flexible waterproof barrier, ideal for small DIY fixes around the house. When used for waterproofing concrete, the silicone gasoline mixture forms a flexible, water-resistant layer that adheres well to the surface. When used for waterproofing wood, the silicone gasoline mixture creates a thin, flexible coating that repels water and moisture effectively. When a sheet of paper is coated with the waterproofing mixture, it transforms noticeably. The paper becomes slightly darker in color and takes on a semi-glossy, rubbery finish. It feels more flexible and stronger to the touch, almost like a thin sheet of plastic. Once dried, it fills tiny cracks and pores in the concrete, creating a seal that helps prevent water from seeping through. This is especially useful for outdoor areas like balconies, steps, or garden pots, anywhere exposed to rain or moisture. Unlike rigid sealants, the silicone-based compound remains slightly elastic, allowing to expand and contract with temperature changes without cracking. It's a quick, low-cost solution for extending the life of concrete surfaces and preventing long-term water damage. Once applied and fully dried, it forms a protective layer that seeps into the wood surface, helping to seal small cracks, pores, and grain lines. This barrier prevents water absorption, which can reduce the risk of swelling, warping, or rotting, especially for outdoor wooden structures like fences, furniture, or tool handles. The mixture also adds a slightly glossy, rubber-like finish that enhances durability while still allowing some flexibility, making a practical DIY solution for preserving wood in humid or rainy conditions. Once dried, water poured onto the surface simply beads up and rolls off without soaking in, showing that the coating has effectively sealed the fibers. Despite being originally fragile and absorbent, the treated paper now resists tearing and moisture, making it a simple yet impressive demonstration of the mixture's waterproofing power. In conclusion, the silicone and gasoline mixture proves to be a surprisingly effective DIY waterproofing solution. Whether applied to concrete, wood, or even something as fragile as paper, it forms a flexible, water-resistant coating that helps protect surfaces from moisture damage. With just simple, easy-to-find materials, you can create a reliable barrier that extends the life of everyday objects, perfect for small repairs, creative projects, or practical home maintenance. And today, I'm going to share with you a way to fix one of those causes. I prepared 2 aluminum wires coated with a thin layer of copper. But before I can weld them together effectively, it's crucial to strip away that outer copper coating, because it can interfere with the weld quality and prevent a strong bond. Now I'm going to solder them together using tin. The solder joint shows clear signs of pore adhesion. The tin doesn't stick properly to the wire surface. Instead of forming a smooth, shiny bond, the solder beads up or peels away, leaving gaps and a weak connection that can easily break under slight pressure. I'm going to create a homemade solution that works like flux. Its role is to clean the metal surface, remove oxidation, and help the solder flow and stick better, ultimately ensuring a stronger, more reliable joint. First, I'm going to use baking soda. It acts as a mild abrasive and helps neutralize surface impurities, making it easier for the solder to bond with the metal. Next, I have an old battery here. I'm going to use it as a metal content to enhance the chemical activity of the homemade flux solution. The metal casing of the battery, usually made from zinc or zinc alloy, plays an important role in the mixture. When combined with baking soda and a bit of moisture, it can react to form a mildly alkaline solution. This helps clean the metal surfaces by breaking down oxides, much like commercial flux. As a result, it improves the ability of the solder to flow and bond tightly to the base materials. I'm going to cut the metal casing into small pieces. This increases its surface area, allowing it to react more effectively with the baking soda solution. Speeding up the process and enhancing the cleaning action for better solder adhesion. I'm going to combine the battery casing pieces with the baking soda. The syringe as the applicator for my tool. I'm going to attach the needle tip to the bottle cap. This will turn the cap into a convenient nozzle, making it easier to control the flow of solution when applying it to the metal surfaces during soldering. I'm going to secure the needle tip to the bottle cap using hot glue. The glue forms a strong, airtight seal that holds the needle firmly in place, preventing any leaks while allowing solution to be dispensed smoothly and accurately during use. This is sulfuric acid, H2SO4. It's a highly corrosive and reactive acid, often found in car batteries. In small, controlled amounts, it can be used to clean metal surfaces by dissolving oxides and other contaminants, making it easier for solder to bond effectively. However, it must be handled with extreme care due to its strong acidic nature. I'm going to use a syringe to precisely measure and control the amount of sulfuric acid I add. This helps ensure safety and accuracy, preventing overuse while still making solution strong enough to clean the metal effectively for soldering. I'll gently shake the mixture to help it react with the battery casing and baking soda. This motion allows the acid to interact more evenly with the metal in the powder, triggering a mild chemical reaction that enhances the cleaning properties of the homemade flux solution. As the reaction takes place, the mixture begins to work similarly to commercial flux. It cleans the metal surfaces by removing oxidation and impurities, allowing the solder to flow smoothly and adhere more effectively. This homemade flux helps ensure a cleaner, stronger, and more reliable solder joint, just like what you'd expect from a store-bought flux. Once the battery casing has fully dissolved, the solution is ready to use. I'm going to apply a few drops of the solution to the ends of the two aluminum wires. After applying the solder, you can clearly see that it adheres much better to the aluminum wires. The tin spreads smoothly and forms a solid, shiny joint that clings tightly to the surface, indicating a strong bond. Unlike before, there are no gaps or signs of solder peeling off, showing that the homemade flux did its job in preparing the metal for a successful weld. Next, I'm going to solder 2 pieces of steel wire. The result is surprisingly clean and nearly perfect. The solder clings smoothly to the steel wires, forming a shiny, uniform joint without lumps or gaps. It looks professionally done, solid, neat, and durable. This shows that even with basic materials, a well-prepared flux solution can produce high-quality, reliable solder joints. Through this experiment, it's clear that the homemade solution works effectively as a flux substitute. It cleans the metal surfaces, removes oxidation, and significantly improves the adhesion of solder on both aluminum and steel, metals that are typically difficult to solder using conventional methods. The final solder joints are not only strong but also visually clean, smooth, and well-formed, demonstrating the importance of proper surface preparation. This simple and cost-effective approach delivers impressive results, making it a valuable technique for DIY projects or basic repair work.